407 years ago. So begins the Gettysburg Address given by President Abraham Lincoln on November 19, 1863. The occasion was the dedication of the Soldiers' National Cemetery, honoring the men from the North and the South who had died there in what was perhaps the bloodiest battle of the Civil War. Earlier in July, 52,000 men were killed, wounded, or captured in the Union victory, which was considered a turning point in the war. Here you see
that is a picture of an
grave
open
with
Confederate grave.
soldiers lying in it. Here you see what the Gettysburg Cemetery looks like today. The address itself was actually quite
brief,
short,
only 272 words and 10 lines, yet it was considered one of the greatest speeches ever written.
So, what does that mean for us? Well, we're going to study the Gettysburg Address to understand what Lincoln's words meant then and now. And you are going to demonstrate your ability to work cooperatively with your group mates. You're going to demonstrate your public speaking skills, your ability to decode meaning of language beyond the surface level, your ability to listen and contribute to a class discussion, and lastly, you will demonstrate your ability to organize your thoughts into a cohesive essay. What that means is you're going to read the Gettysburg Address and take notes as you do. You will work in groups to dissect the speech and its deeper meaning using resources on the internet. You will make 5-minute presentations sharing your findings with the class. Then you will engage in a class discussion as to the importance of the address in the midst of the Civil War and today, more than 150 years later. Lastly, you will write your own essay explaining what made Lincoln's words so powerful. A few of the questions we're going to address as we go through this lesson. When and where was the Gettysburg Address delivered? What were the circumstances that led up to the address? And what was the nation's reaction to it back then? Lincoln didn't mention slavery, but what do you think he was saying about it? And lastly, we'll look at what the Gettysburg Address means to us today. Understand the war and the speech and its significance. I've also included a website with the reading of the Gettysburg Address by Johnny Cash, perhaps my favorite reading of the Gettysburg Address. I certainly hope you enjoy it as much as I did. And lastly, I've included a slide demonstrating how I will be grading your work. You're going to be graded in 3 areas: the written report, the class presentation, and the reading notes. Remember, this is a big project, so take your time and make your thoroughness count.